The ASA Tour in Columbia County, Appling, Georgia, is brought to you by Last Chance Archery and Gas Bowstrings.
All right, welcome back to Appling, Georgia, and the True Ball and Vortex Pro-Am. Let's get right to Chuck Cooley with our next series of shooters.
Welcome to the Open Pro Shootdown. Our number 5 qualifier from Paris, Kentucky, shooting for Matthews. A 412 with 9 bonus rings, Michael Evans. From Ontario, New York, shooting for Elite. A 416 with 10 bonus rings, Tommy Gomez. From Wisconsin, shooting for Matthews. A 420 with 13 bonus rings, Dan McCarthy. Also shooting for Matthews, from Toccoa, Georgia, Jay Moon with a 422 and 18 bonus rings. And your number 1 qualifier this afternoon in Open Pro with a 425 and 16 bonus rings, from Townville, South Carolina, shooting for PSC, Jack Wallace.
All right, Nathan Brooks. I'm Craig White. Nathan, we are on this one. 25 up for Jack Wallace. You can see that 3 points the difference between Wallace and Moon. And when I was on the range earlier today, Nathan, you know, Jack Wallace kind of gets that look in his eye, like he just dialed in. That's the look he had before he came off.
You know, it's funny, you mentioned his eye, something that you may or may not know, but Jack was in a really bad accident. See his bicep right there where it's got that scar on it?
Yeah.
Holding it up? He was in a horrible accident. I forget what year it was, but he had glass all in his eye. Didn't know if he'd ever shoot a bow again.
Oh,
and here he is. I don't know how many years later. It's been a long time. I've known Jack since I was 14 years old. And it's amazing to see him back out here, and had so many people questioning, would he ever be able to make it back to the big stage? It's like, it's a mental thing. If physically he can do it, mentally he'll be able to handle it.
There's your points leader at full draw, settling into his anchor. He's going to be starting off on the tapier.
That is a true ball release he's shooting too. So, looks like he got the upper 12.
He called it, Bert. Did you see him call it?
I didn't. I just took it for granted.
We're going to find out here in just a moment.
That he called it.
We'll take a look at the score. And we're going to see if Jack Wallace decided to put the hammer down. He did, so he got 12.
I didn't expect Jack to miss that far.
That's a good one. I mean, it's would you say it's the closest one that we have?
It is. It's the closest one.
It's real close, yeah. Real close to being the closest one, anyway.
Well, yeah, exactly. Dead center 10 on that turkey for Jay Moon. This is his. I believe this is his first shoot-off, isn't it?
No, for Jay Moon.
No, that's right.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
He
took second.
He got second.
Texas.
My mistake there, Jay. I should have remembered that. But
that's all right. It's only his 5th year in competition. You know, shooting and take a look at Dan McCarthy. Of course, Dan in a hotly contested Shooter of the Year competition. 1,276 points coming into this one. Levi Morgan, who's not here this weekend, at a 12:45, and Jeff Hopkins also tied at 12:45. So, if you're joining us, Shooter of the Year, you get to basically pick your 5 best scoring rounds, drop your worst out of the 6 rounds that we shoot here in the 2019 Mackenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour.
And the Classic counts. You can't drop the Classic.
Right. So really, I guess you just take your top 5, drop 1, plus the Classic.
So Tommy had a rough first arrow on the Javelina, so let's see if he makes a yardage adjustment here for the Blesbach.
There's Tommy Gomez, right part of your screen. Originally from Austin, Texas. Left there in about 2015 now, works for the outdoor group. He's the plant manager, machining, assembly, warehouse.
Does a heck of a job, too, by the way.
So if you shoot an elite bow, shoot a Scott Release, any of those products, somehow, some way, Tommy Gomez has a hand in that. There he is, the big smile on his face.
It's a Rebel XL. He was obviously being in the factory. He's the first one to try all these bows, and you don't see any labels on his limbs because that's the first one that was built. So
and he's still shooting it.
Oh yeah,
shows you the quality of the bow he's shooting.
Loved
no doubt.
it.
So Gomez slips after that one.
It's an ascent release. Michael Evans has a fan club here.
No doubt.
I believe he smoked a 14 over there, and we haven't got to it yet. And I hate to jump ahead, but we heard the crowd roar there, and for archery, I love that.
There it is. And there, I don't think there's a doubt about that.
No.
One. 14,
no,
it's called.
He had it.
Crowd goes ballistic. Paris, Kentucky, his 6th year as a pro, and this is his first. So what we do is we do a little research on these archers, and when I said, can you give us some ASA competition highlights? He said, I don't have any. This is it for him, his first, and really happy to have him in here. A lot of shit, very, very soft-spoken when I interviewed him. Haven't had a chance to really spend time with him, but we definitely know if he's a quiet man, his fan club is whooping it up for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And those highlights that he says he doesn't have, I've watched him shoot for a long time. He was a beast in semi-pro as he made his way up through the ranks to become a professional. So he has some highlights, just maybe not what he would call a highlight.
He does. He's been on the podium before, and in a lower ranking competition. But when asked, if he had any family members in attendance, he said, Tommy Whitaker and my archery family, the Archery Outlaws, are all here, and we can hear it too. They are cheering for him.
Absolutely.
A 10 for Tommy Gomez.
All right, Tommy Gomez with the 10. They just pulled that arrow. So now archers are going to rotate to the next target. Gomez will be moving into the number 1 spot.
I can just about guarantee you he'll shoot at a 14 on this taper.
You think so?
Yeah, and Tommy's been known to make a mistake and then just tear it up. Jack Wallace calling for an upper 12. Still with a good lead. Got a 5-point lead now.
Start your 1 minute now.
The Wolf, by the way, is the second closest target of the day. We mentioned that a little earlier, but if you're just joining in, I expect Jack to probably hit this one.
Is Nathan Brooks right? Gomez goes for it on the taper. He gets it. Oh, wow, great shot on the 14 for Tommy Gomez.
Yep, Jack smokes the upper 12.
Mm-hmm.
Continuing to add to that lead he's got.
That's the Howling Wolf. That's the 3rd position, the 3rd target, the middle target. So here comes some scores. We're on Tommy Gomez's target. And Don, our faithful scorer, puts up a 14. By the way, the scorer who's holding up those numbers is also the devil who sets this course.
Yeah, he's in charge of all these courses, by the way.
He is. So now that we're at this point of the tournament, Nathan, there's one thing that I got to see the yardages. All right, so here's the situation. So we're hoping that none of these 5 are listening to what we're saying. One of the things that Don did when he decided to set this up, there's the Howling Wolf. That's set at 34 yards.
Okay.
The next 2 targets over, though, he set those at 49 yards, both of them the same distance.
Yep.
So that was something he was trying to do. If you look down there, as we get to that javelina, the javelina he put on the walking path. So there's no
obstruction.
Obstruction. And so he was, and then the next target, which is the same distance over, that
Buzzbach.
The Buzzbach. He set that with obviously things in front of it so you couldn't see the hill. He was trying to trick him, and that's part of the game.
Yep.
And it worked on that one.
And now we only have 1 shooter within
So
10 points of our leader.
the closest target we do is confirmed is obviously the tape here. That's set at 28 yards. And then our turkey is set at 43. Now, of course, these archers don't know that, so they just go ahead and went and judged their distance, wrote it down. and they're going for it now. So
Let's go get McCarthy on the taper. Again, this is probably going to be an attempt at a 14, more than likely.
No
14
doubt.
points. At this point, I don't see McCarthy missing that.
Mr. McCarthy's ready with his number.
That would make that'd be a big boost for him. Challenge Jay for second.
Start your 1 minute now.
Jay Moon.
Jay is on the number 5 target, which will be the Blesbach, which is one of the long ones you were talking about a second ago. Just right over the 12. It was a good shot at it.
There's Dan. Is he going to go for that 14? He
Got
does,
it.
and he smokes it.
Yeah.
It's exactly what we expect.
Typical for Danny McCarthy to lay it down, especially on the short ones.
Okay, first up.
Got some holes in there now. Look at
Yeah,
that.
sure do. So Dan is going to move up to 460.
Next up, Tommy Gomez.
There's another shot at that 14 ring.
Yeah, check that out. I mean, there's been four arrows hit that. Well, no, 5 actually. The bottom one's actually been hit twice. So guys are dialing in on that taper.
That was Tommy Gomez. Sorry about that interruption. Tommy Gomez with a 10.
Ooh, it's a rough one on the Wolf.
He's looking for a 14.
You see that left there? You know, I know it's not a long shot, but that's one of those targets where I'm not really certain from that shooting position if he can see where the core line is at. I'm not sure. Sometimes at a certain angle you can't see those core lines, so then you can't really reference where that 14 is at, and that's definitely what he was shooting at.
So we can see Don's in the sun. We see a lot of the targets in the sun. The sun has moved around. It's kind of, casting great light on our targets. What do you think?
Well, actually, it probably helps them as from the shooting, from a shooter standpoint, because they don't have any bright lights on their scopes or their peeps that could cause glares. So the difficult thing about shooting into the sun, well, now look at this view here. Most of the targets are, look how dark that javelina is down there.
It just got that way, didn't it? Yeah.
And that makes it horrific. I mean, there's nothing to aim off of when they look like that. But from the shooting standpoint, the only thing that could happen is their pins might wash out on these targets in the bright sunlight. So they have to either have a light on it or something to be able to really brighten that pin to be bright enough to see them really good. Here's a run.
Yeah. All right, here comes Dan.
Jay gave it a good shot. Want to be close.
This one's a good poke, too. He's on the turkey. That's 43 downrange. Oh, rock solid he is on that hold.
Yep. Danny shoots so well.
Just another day in the office. He went for the 14 on the turkey.
That's a good run.
Got a little gut tenacity.
He didn't come here for a second.
No. No. Got a long drive home in that Prius, man.
That's
He's gotta,
14 for
gotta
Jay
charge
Moon.
those batteries. Great shot.
14. Not going away.
All right, so now let's move over to Dan's target. From our vantage point, looks like it is going to be, a shuffling, it's going to be an 8. So he went for it. That one didn't pay off for him.
Next up for Tommy Gomez.
Howling Wolf. Ooh, Tommy Gomez went for it. So he's going to drop that one out. It'll be a 5.
Come on, guys, work with me. And for Michael Evans, I have gentlemen who will jump in the lake if this is a 14 right here. These guys will all jump in the lake for this guy.
All right, so now we're going to the going to Michael Evans here with the cheering squad.
He went for the 14.
He went for the 14.
I'm telling you, there's no way that he could see where to hold on that thing. I mean, it's just, with that being that dark, that's just, it's literally a shot in the dark.
Oh, big slide from the crowd for first-timer Michael Evans. He's Got a great contingent with him. Archery Outlaws.
Jack Wallace still plugging away.
So Jack Wallace on that one.
Looks like that.
Did he catch it? No, he's going to be a 10.
Oh, super close. Super close.
Let's see if we can reset the scores here. So yeah, looks like 79 for Wallace. Good on that one. 76 for Moon. 68 for McCarthy. 60 and 54.
So 2 shooters left for a 6th and final arrow.
So congratulations to
McCarthy.
Evans, Goldman, and McCarthy. That'll be 5th, 4th, and 3rd as they came in. So now it's time to shoot our last arrow. Going for it.
We're doing the deer logo thing again?
All right, Nathan Brooks. What you gonna do?
Well, this is interesting. Depends on the target set, how dark it is. Looks like they're moving that. That's a large HD. The large HD McKenzie target out here in the sun. Oh, they just decided to move it over and put it in the shade.
There you go. There you go. A little punishment.
Make it a little bit.
Oh,
hard.
no, they're
Nice
going to keep
coming
going.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
Where do they want to put this thing? So they've decided right there. So that's going to be in the sunlight unless the clouds move in front of the sun, which we can't quite see what's going to happen there. But again, they've shot so many targets already. They should have a real good feel for the distance on this. Obviously, Jay's got second wrapped up, right?
Right.
Okay, if he shoots a 14,
That's
then,
what you got to go for.
then Jack has to shoot a
12
or a 14
Right.
to win.
And last
A
time
10
Moon
won't do it.
Yeah, and you can see upper left-hand part of your screen. The last time Moon sent an arrow downrange, it was a 14. So got a lot of confidence on that one.
Yeah, you know, it's obviously if Jay shoots a 12, Jack would be forced to shoot a 10, and that's really not a difficult shot for Jack to shoot a 10.
All right, so looking at Jay Moon, second here in Open Pro in Texas, 2018. We're now just a little over a year later down the road, and I can tell you Jay Moon does not want to be stuck at the second place finisher. He's got to go for it. I don't think even think there's a question.
Nope, he puts those binoculars right up on top of that TRX-38 and takes a good look, gets still and steady as he's looking like that.
How many opportunities do they have in this class to reset their actual sights, their sight? How does that process work?
You know, that's a good question. I really can't answer that exactly. I think the rule reads that you can't move your sight after you have glassed the target.
That's what I think. Yeah, I think you're right. That's what I had heard, and I'll double check that rule. So once you put those binos up, now what he's doing is he's finding a place to shoot.
Yeah, he's just locating. And really, it shouldn't be that difficult. I mean, you see that big arrow hole that's just low right of the 14, out at about 5 o'clock.
So, all right, so you see that. Now, you judge the distance. Are you going to aim off on that, or are you going to grab some clicks to try to put it in there?
You know what I would do? Again, this is just me. Everybody has their own style. I could see that spot, that arrow hole.
Yeah.
All right, so I would add a yard, maybe a yard and a half to my sight, and I would aim just to the left of that arrow hole.
Gotcha.
And let it rise up in there.
Okay. Let's see. Can he put the pressure on Wallace?
Oh,
He sends it just
under
low.
it. He knew it when it hit. He knew it. It's a good effort. He had to try.
So that'll be an 8 for Moon. The story tonight at dinner is going to be, I went gunning for it. Now this man in control of this one. Jack Wallace out of South Carolina. Extremely long resume, of course, his wife, Sharon Wallace.
Just one.
Just one. This will be a nice, short ride home tonight. We're right on the South Carolina border.
You know, Jack has shot a lot of equipment over the years, and he's, as a professional archer, you sometimes venture around doing different things. It's not easy to make a living as a professional archer.
No.
And Jack is shooting, when he went to that PSE Perform X, he has just shot that thing fantastic. It definitely fits his style of shot. He's done great with it. It's a good looking bow.
A layup will do it.
Oh,
Gets
yeah.
it right, puts it right in the middle of the 10, a nice safe shot. And there's a big hug from his wife as Jack Wallace will be your 2019 True Ball and Vortex Pro-Am champ in the Open Pro category.
Jack's been doing this a long time. I remember him back in 1995 or 96 shooting at ASA tournaments as a pro. I think he was about 18 or 19 years old.
He was ASA Shooter of the Year in the pro class in 1996.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a memory right there, Nathan Brooks.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
that's when I was a young man myself, and this is what I wanted to do. So
Let's get to PJ with our winner.
Jack Wallace, tell us about that win. You came in with a nice lead, and you just kept the foot on the gas pedal.
Well, that's the same thing I try to teach Sharon. If you're shooting well and you're judging well and you're hitting what you're aiming at, then you keep your foot on the gas. You know, if you got them down, keep them down. You just keep going. You know, and it just it came together this weekend. I didn't expect it to, not after the way it started yesterday. You know, but it really happy. Otherwise, only one error out of the 10 ring each day, and then shoot a pretty clean finals round. Really happy.
First win this season. You've been close a couple times. This has to feel like a monkey off your back.
Well, it really feels good because at that first tournament, a lot of people don't know, I misset my sight, and I missed the shoot down round by a point. I feel like I could have won that one, and I didn't even get to play. So and then just a couple of tournaments of bad luck, but finally, we've been working hard, practicing hard, and I just told her, I said, I think I'm going to get it done this weekend. It's going to come together, so very happy.
Now, last question. Are you more nervous shooting yourself or watching Sharon?
Oh, watching Sharon, watching her, I'm just trying not to throw up while, she's shooting stuff, and she was shooting down through here, and she was shooting good, and then she had the one oopsie on the javelin, and I was just like, oh, this is bad. But no, we got a great thing going. Just, both of us super competitive. We'll be able to practice, train together all the time. We push each other. We play little games, and we both, we have great equipment. We've got great sponsors. We've got people that take care of us, and that helps keep this thing going.
All right, Jack, congratulations. Great win.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Real happy. Our third winner, different winner in the men's or Open Pro class in the 2019 Mackenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour. As we look at the archers sending arrows down range, we're going to take a commercial break. On the other side, we will have our final class of competition as we await the very competitive known pro class. So don't go anywhere on our coverage of the 2019 Mackenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour.
We don't build these bows to be different. We build them to be better. We're the outsiders, the mavericks, the fearless. We forge our own path. We're not chasing anyone, but we know what they're running from. It's an obsession, and the obsessed never rest.
Vince Lombardi once said, winning is not a sometime thing. It's an all-time thing. You don't do things right once in a while. You do them right all the time. Winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing. I've learned in my career I'm only as good as the tools I use.
12 for Levi Morgan.
One chance, one moment, one shot.